welcome to Monday's practice. Hope you're all doing okay out there. Alright, so come to kneeling. If kneeling doesn't work for you, just come to a comfortable seated position. And we're just going to bring our hands and just find your lower ribs. And especially through this left side rib. So with the left side diaphragm, this is the side of the diaphragm that tends to flop out more, a bit more lazy and doesn't breathe as well. So we're just going to breathe first and just finding your breath as you inhale. Lengthen through your tailbone. As you exhale, push just gently in with your lower ribs and then keep that pressure as you inhale again. Exhale through the mouth this time, really getting rid of all breath and squeezing those ribs in. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale again, try and feel it more into this upper back, right up into the chest as well. Just take two more there. As you're exhaling, getting rid of every last drop of breath out. Last one. And exhale, push into those ribs and almost try and feel your obliques switch on. And then we'll come to child's pose, so knees wide. And settle back as you exhale. Inhale, come up to angry cat, drawing the breath into your upper back. Exhale back to child's pose. Let the chest sink. Inhale up to angry cat, push away from the floor. And exhale, sink the hips back. Melt the head down. Inhale, come up. Angry cat. Exhale, sink back. Let the belly flop out. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sink back into your child's pose and just pause here for a moment. Let the chest really sink. You can extend your arms out a bit more. And then taking your hands over to the left and drop back down. And just sinking the hips back. Breathing into that right side. And throughout this practice, we're trying to find not just some movement of energy and getting the body a little more comfortable. We're trying to find that state of samadhi. So getting rid of the monkey mind, that racing brain, and coming to samadhi, so a state of meditative stillness through the mind. Switch sides, everybody. Come over to the other side. And then push out through that left side as you melt down. Just feeling the sensation of the breath through the body. That beautiful life-giving, life-ending breath. And then coming back to center. Just lift up, bring the knees back together and tuck your toes. And just for a moment coming into broken toe pose. So sitting back. If you've got quite flexible feet, you're trying to get those little toes tucked under. And now we're just going to take the hands behind, interlace. Lift the chest up. Draw the shoulders back. But just notice here if you flare a lot through the ribs. See if you can keep that sense like we were before of just drawing the lower ribs in. And again, just feeling that sweetness of the breath. And just one more. And then you can make your way to downward facing dog, walking the hands forward, spreading the fingers, tilting the pelvis. And as you come back into your downward dog, feel if you sink into the shoulders and you let your rib cage drop. Keep those lower ribs drawing in. Feel a roundness through your upper back. And then just walk your dog out. Walk your dog out. You might need to swing your hips side to side. Notice how your body feels today. Then finding that tilt of the pelvis, pushing the sits bones up. Just taking an extra push through the knuckles of the fingers and really lengthen the spine. Let's take a walk up to the front, coming into a little ragdoll and just checking out your feet. Get all of your toes facing directly to the front. And then try and spread your toes nice and wide, lengthen them out as much as you can. Get some movement through those toes. Take a little bend of the knees, and then inhale, come up, go for a back bend, lifting the chest up and over. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, come up, keep that softness in the knees. And exhale, pushing the sit bones back all the way down. Let's just take one more of those, all the way up. Exhale, down. Take your choice of ragdoll, so you can just let your hands flop. You can cross your arms. If you've been at your computer a lot or you're just feeling a bit slumped, maybe interlace behind your back and just get that stretch through the shoulders. With every breath out, just feeling the draping of the spine all the way forwards, right from the hip joints. And then release. Again, come all the way up, using those back muscles, back of the legs, all the way up, little back bend. Hands to Anjali Mudra. Okay, so sun salutation's a little bit different today. So feet can be together or hip width apart, either is fine. So we're going to inhale up. As you exhale, release the arms, tuck the chin, little bend in the knees, and you're rolling all the way down to the floor. Take a half lift, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, step back and lower all the way down to the floor. So you might want to come to knees or stay on your toes. Just going slow for this first one, push down into your little toes and just engage the legs. So there's a softness through the glutes, not squeezing too tight. And then forehead to the floor. Lift your hands, squeezing through the back muscles. Then reach the hands back behind you. Then come back to cobra with the hands up. Exhale, take your arms into a cactus, so both arms are out to the side bent. Then reach your arms forward in front of you, keeping them off the floor, lifting your thumbs up. Bring your hands back, place them to the floor, and as you inhale, either come up to cobra or come up to upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Exhale, take it back, relax. Exhale, step or hop up to your hands. Take a half lift. Exhale, and then we're going to roll up to standing on our inhale. Roll up, reach the arms up, and exhale. Back to the beginning. Inhale, reach up. Release the arms, tuck and roll all the way down. Half lift, inhale. Step back, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift the hands, squeeze the back. Exhale, reach back behind you, squeeze the shoulders. Inhale, back to under your shoulders. Exhale to cactus, squeeze your back. Inhale, reach forwards. Bring the hands back. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Just take what you need today in your practice. Downward facing dog, press back. Lengthen your spine, relax. Inhale, fill up your upper back. Exhale, step or hop up to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Bend the knees, roll up, use your glutes. Touch the palms at the top. Exhale, Samastiti. Let's go one more time. Inhale up. Release, tuck and roll all the way down. Flat back, inhale. Step back, lower down to the mat. Forehead down, squeeze those hands up. Reach back as you exhale. Bring the hands under, inhale. Cactus, open and really squeeze the back of the shoulders. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, bring the hands back to the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, lifting the knees, shoulders back. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Keep coming back to breath, releasing the mind. Take a breath in. Exhale, step or hop to your hands. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Curl your spine up to standing. And hands to heart. Just pause here for a moment, close your eyes. And just feel a sense of coming together as we are all separated at the moment. Just bring that vibe into your practice that we are connecting through this. And connecting to our whole community, connecting to our country, and connecting to our planet. Opening the eyes and just release the arms. So we're going to come into chair pose. For this one, it doesn't really matter if your feet are together or if you want your feet hip width apart. Both is fine. So bend the knees. Lengthen through your lower back. You're going to bring all your weight onto your left foot. Now when you bring it over to your left foot, just notice if you pop your hip out, I want you to hug that left hip in, point your right foot forwards, and then taking a rotation of that leg all the way around. And you can go past 6 o'clock, so go a little bit further, and then bringing it all the way back. And back to chair pose, all your weight to your right foot. Keep that right hip hugging in, left foot out. Rotate all the way around. Rotate all the way back to the front. Chair pose. Inhale, come up. Release the arms, roll down. Flat back, inhale. Left foot steps back. And we're coming to Anjane, but we're not going to drop the knee down. So you're going to drop the back knee just an inch off the floor as you come up. So it's a little bit like you're in a lunge, or is a lunge. And then notice these ribs if they have popped out. Take a breath in. As you exhale, pyramid pose, fingertips to floor, and just straightening that right leg as much as you need to find a stretch through the right hamstrings. One more breath. Now keeping the back leg straight, crescent lunge, bend the front knee. Tuck your pelvis under. Draw the ribs in. Reach up through the fingers. And just feel a massive stretch through the front of your left hip. With all the sitting that we're doing at the moment, even for me, my hip flexors are pinging. So we want to get them working and also open. And then bringing your hands down, you're going to turn both of your feet for outer hip release. So if you see both my feet here, turning to the right. And reaching the right arm back. Now you can reach the right arm up, you can reach it behind you. You can half bind it behind you. Do whatever feels good. Just feel a release here through both outer hips. And you're keeping this back leg and foot active, so we're not flopping into it. Bring your hands back. Lower all the way down to the floor, just like we did before, on the knees or toes, forehead down. Lift the hands. Reach back, exhale. Inhale back in. Exhale to cactus. Reach the arms forward, thumbs up. Bring the hands back. Cobra or upward facing dog. Lifting the heart high. And downward facing dog. Rolling back. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, let go. Exhale, step or hop to the hands. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, roll up to standing. Touch the palms at the top. And release. Exhale, second side. Come to chair pose, bend the knees. Reach up. Take all your weight to your left foot. Squeeze this left hip really tight. Right foot forwards. Big circle. You may find this time you can go a little bit further. Maybe, maybe not. Feel the squeeze of the inner thighs. Circle, whoops, all the way back. Come back to chair pose. Left foot forward, squeezing the right hip. Big circle all the way around. All the way back. Chair pose. Inhale, come to standing, everybody. Release the arms. Fold all the way down. Flat back. Right foot steps back this time. Bending the back knee, keeping it just off the floor, coming up to Anjane. And tuck and push this right hip forwards. Notice if your arms are limp. Find some reach through the fingers. Pyramid pose, fold over your left leg. Find a stretch through the left hamstrings. And just relax here, you don't need to put any pressure into this. Take one more breath here, just relax. And then bending the front knee, coming up to crescent lunge, so keeping that back leg as straight as possible and opening up through the front of that right hip. That feels good. Hands down to the mat, outer hip release, so turn your feet to the left. And just notice with both of my feet, I'm not crashing into the ankles I'm actually keeping my feet dorsiflexed. And then that left arm goes behind or up or half bind. Circle back, lower all the way down to the mat. And remember, if you need to, knees is fine. Chest down, forehead down, hands lift. Reach back. Hands back in. Cactus. Reach the thumbs forward. Bring the hands back. Cobra pose or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take it back. And now you're going to take a lion's breath. Okay, so we're really trying to find energy, trying to find courage. So as you inhale, breathe, big breath in. As you exhale, open your mouth, poke your tongue out. Take another one of those. You can easily do it at home. No one's watching. And then just come back to normal breath. As you exhale, step or float to the hands. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, roll up to standing, really tucking the chin, touch the palms. Hands to heart. Chair pose. Weight to the left, right foot. Big circle all the way round. Circle back. Come to chair pose. You might find a little more depth in the legs. Left foot forwards. Circle around. Circle back. Chair pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll all the way down. Half lift. Left foot steps back. Bend the knee. Come up to Anjali. Exhale, relax into your pyramid fold. Crescent lunge. Bend the knee. Tuck the pelvis under. Hands down. Outer hip release. Feet turn to the right. Circle back. Lower down to your mat. Lift the hands. Exhale, take them back. Bring the hands in, inhale. Cactus, exhale. Reach forwards. Bring it back. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breath in. Step or float to the hands. Half lift, inhale. Exhale down, bend the knees, roll up. Circle up. Hands to heart. Second side, chair pose, bend the knees. Right foot forwards. Circle. Circle back. Hopefully you're starting to feel some legs and glutes now. Come back to center. Left foot forwards. Always helps when you train legs the day before. I'm definitely feeling it with you, trust me. And come to center. Inhale up. Tuck and roll. Half lift, extend the spine. Right foot steps back. Anjali. Pyramid. Crescent lunge. Bend the knee. Hands down, feet turn to the left. Outer hip release, roll back. Lift up, lower all the way down to your mat. Hands lift. Squeeze back, push into your little toes. Come back. Cactus arms, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Reach forwards, lift those hands right up. Come back, cobra or upward facing dog. And press back. Take a little rest here, whether you want to stay up in downward dog or come to child's pose. And just take a moment to recapture your breath, maybe move your mat if it keeps moving. And just keep finding that samadhi. Just finding that release of the monkey mind. And just finding calmness and sensation, really knowing where you are in space, what you stand for in this world, and relaxation. Couple more breaths, just letting go, and depending on your state of mind at the moment, if you really need to let it go, open your mouth and feel it coming out of your body. And then come on up, everybody. Downward facing dog. Pressing back. Maybe a sip of tea. As you come up to downward dog, stretch. Inhale your right leg up. And then you're going to step right foot outside your left hand. Now, for some people, that is not the easiest of tasks. So just step the right foot as far as you can and then grab it and see if you can step it forwards a little bit more. So we've kind of done this pose before, but just a little bit different this time. So I'm actually going to keep the right knee bent and I'm going to turn my right foot in. So I'm actually up on the knife edge of the foot. Okay, so already starting to feel a stretch here through the right side and through the right IT band. Just move your left hand a little more into the center of your mat. Now push through the hands. Try to straighten your right leg as much as possible. Think more about pulling this right hip back hugely. Keep both hands to the mat, or if it works for you, your right arm comes up to the sky. Now this is quite a humdinger of a stretch, so either have a laugh about it, try not to cry, find some big breaths here. We'll just hold for 2 more breaths. And bringing it down, wow, yep. Right leg back up, sweep it up to the sky. Now stepping your right foot outside your right hand this time. And same but different. So we're going to turn the right foot out, right knee out. And now we're going to come into an exaggerated winged dragon. So your right arm's going to come back and you can either grab this back leg or you can even just half bind here. And then really drop into it and you're looking over your right shoulder. If it's a little too intense for you, feel free to drop that back knee down. Otherwise, I want you to try and stay in the power here. And really push out through your left heel. Sink into the hips. Huge opening. 3-legged dog. Take it back up. Step it forwards to your right thumb now. And coming up to warrior 2. So back heel down. As you come up, roll this right hip underneath you and extend through the arms. extended side angle. Forearm to thigh. And as you bring this forearm to thigh, push, drag your right shoulder back. If you've got the mobility and you can bend quite deep through your right knee, you can bring those right fingertips inside. Left arm, bend the elbow, and wrap it behind you. So you'll find the back of your hip, or you might be able to come around and actually grab your right thigh with your left fingertips. Find the breath. A lot of energy in some of these poses, but also can you find the rest and just let the body grow. Inhale, everybody, come up. Turn your toes in, setting up for Prasarita. Fix your pants, hands to hips, and pushing the sit bones back. Try not to go for too much of a back bend as you fold. And with the arms now, reach them out in front of you. So we've got Prasarita with the legs, we've got downward dog with the upper body. Bring your left hand over to your right shin, just anywhere, it doesn't matter where. Now you're going to bend your right knee, the front knee, and then push your right ribs out and really reach through your right fingertips. You can even come up onto fingertips if you wish. And you're pulling into that right side. Feeling a stretch in so many areas here. Through the side, through the hip, definitely through the adductor muscles in the left leg. For you, you might feel it somewhere different. And now we're just going to switch. Bring the left hand forward. Take the right hand to your left, wherever on the leg. Bend your left knee. Push the hips back. Reach your left hand forwards. Nice, guys, come back to center. And then just turn to the front and step back to downward facing dog. Take a rest. Left leg up to the sky. Left foot outside your right hand, however you can get it up there. Might be on the mat, off the mat. And then turning this left foot in, so keep the left knee bent while you do this. And keep this ankle really switched on. Right hand moves into the center of the mat. Now pull your left hip back as much as you can. Woo! For me, this is definitely a tighter side. So it doesn't matter if your leg gets straight or not, don't worry about that. And then keep trying to straighten that left leg. And if it works for you, take that left arm up to the sky. Can you still breathe fully? Can you still breathe through your nose? Cultivate that peace. One more breath here, guys. And release. Three-legged dog. Take that leg back up to the sky. And then stepping it outside your left hand. Now coming out to wing dragon, so turning the foot and knee out. If you desperately need to, place this back knee down, otherwise keep it up. Left arm goes behind and you can grab that back thigh or half bind around and then really go for it, drop into it. Even a little bit shaky here. Three-legged dog, take it back up. Stepping forwards. Warrior two. Back heel down. Almost there, everybody. Okay, notice if you've got the booty pop and a big back bend, get rid of the back bend. And then come to extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Push away from it. Or left fingertips to block or to floor. Right arm's going to half bind, so wrap it behind. You might just find the back of your butt. Or reach around and grab the thigh. Lean back into it. Open the front of the body. One more beautiful breath. And then inhale, come up. You guys okay? Turn the feet in. And just make sure you've got space. Lengthen through the spine. Pushing the sits bones back as you forward fold. Bring those hands out to downward dog. And really reach your fingertips away from you as far as you can. Right hand to left, wherever on the leg. Bend your left knee. And if you feel like you can walk your left fingertips a little further away from you, go for it. Push the hips back. Push the left knee open. And let's switch, bring it to the other side. Bend the knee, push it out. Come back to center into a half lift. Turn around to the front. Just step forwards and take a roll onto your back. Take this moment to towel off, have some water or your rooibos tea. And then just take a second to relax. Let it go. Let it go. Allow yourself to feel like you're just floating. Take 2 more breaths just to reorganize. And then coming into Setu Bandhasana, into our bridge, walk your feet in, using your hamstrings here to really pull the heels in close. Activate those hamstrings. A little tuck of the tailbone, lift up, keeping the little squeeze between the thighs. Interlacing underneath your back and wriggling the shoulders underneath as much as you can. Tuck your chin, feel that stretch in the back of the neck. And I really want you to find the power through the back of your body, right from your heels all the way through to the upper back. As you exhale, roll your spine down. Okay, so your choice if you want to do that one again or join me coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. Good opportunity if you are at home and you've been wanting to try this pose but maybe a little bit fearful, you're on your own. Go for it, give it a go. If you don't get your head off the floor, it doesn't matter. Lift the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, lift up into your wheel pose or up into your bridge pose. And then think about pushing through the feet and pushing your chest to the back, whichever pose you're in. It's a little harder to breathe in these poses because we are compressing the diaphragm. But just try for 1 or 2 more breaths. And then come down slowly. And then take your feet to the edges of your mat. Take a side to side windscreen wiper. Hug your knees into your chest. And we'll come up into shoulder stand. Now if shoulder stand doesn't work for you, legs up, arms up, come into waterfall. Otherwise rolling up into shoulder stand, grab your back. And then wriggle your hands down towards your shoulder blades. And then take a squeeze of your butt. So you're trying to get as straight as possible. And then either point or dorsiflex your feet, but you're pushing your feet up to the sky. And just feeling a major stretch here through the back of the neck and through that upper back. And then coming to Halasana plow pose, bending at your hips, taking the legs overhead, dorsiflex your feet. Now your feet might be just hanging in the air. You might be able to get your toes to floor, but try and keep your legs straight here and keep pushing your hips up so you're feeling that huge stretch through the back of the body. Deaf man's pose, hug your knees into your ears. Squish yourself up as much as possible. Hopefully you can still hear me. And then everybody roll back down. Hug your knees into your chest. And then start to rock and roll up and down on your spine. So you might want to grab your thighs or just go loose. Get a good massage in there. Ooh, a few cracks. And up to seated. Okay, we're going to take the lazy way into pigeon today. Right knee forwards, left leg goes back. If you've got your prop at home, place it underneath your hip. Shin tucked. Hip externally rotated, so our right knee is facing out to the right corner. If you're a bit more flexible and ready for a lot more intensity, you can bring this right shin forwards and dorsiflex the foot. And then just pause here for a moment. And you're trying to get this left hip to roll forward. So think about getting the headlights of your hips facing to the front. And then relax into the pose, melting down. Or stay up on your hands, whatever works for you today. Now really get into that relaxation point. But as we start to come into some slower poses now, just notice if you start to go back into that monkey mind. Can you just stay in your body, stay with sensation, stay with breath? Just take one more breath here, guys. And then coming up slowly, and you're just going to sweep your legs around. And find the other side. So tuck the shin. Notice if you're leaning onto that left hip, see if you can lift up. Place that prop underneath. We'll come into the more intense version. Take that moment to get the right hip facing to the front. And then just finding the point for you that there's a little bit of intensity, a little bit at your edge, but you can breathe and just be in the pose. Not needing to fight it, not needing to make it better. Just being aware and just being in it, being present in the pose. And this time, everybody, as you come up, just sweep your legs around to the front. Give them a bit of a shake out if you need. Okay, right knee forward. And bring your left foot in. And you're just facing on the diagonal here. So either just kind of rest your arm here and have your right hand down, or bring your right forearm on the inside of the right leg, and we're taking a side bend over. If it works for you, right hand to left knee and then reach over. Stretch through the arm. If you can reach the foot, grab the foot, and then use both hands here wherever they are to push and pull you around into the pose. And then inhale, come up. And just switching to the other side, left foot forwards. So you've got that option of left hand just inside, left forearm inside, or left hand to the right knee and side bend over. And just reaching over, or maybe grab the foot. Now pull into the pose like you're trying to twist your chest up towards the sky. Inhale, lift up. Oh. That felt good. Both legs out front for Paschimottanasana. Just move those sit bones back. Maybe take your hands to floor, push your sit bones back. Sit up on a prop if you need to, or a little bend to the knees. But we want to get this lower back really long, then reach all the way up. Pull your hands forward and just keep body weight, body weight, body weight, body weight until you just can't anymore, and then grab your legs or grab the feet. And for a moment, just take a half lift and really lengthen through the spine. Feel like you're pushing the sit bones back. And then rebow. Dropping the head. Feel the stretch, not just through the back of the legs, but all the way up the spine, right up to the skull. And then we'll start to roll down onto our backs, everybody. Coming down. And we'll take eagle twist. So lifting the legs up, wrap your right leg over the left. Just let the right foot flop, or if you can, tuck it underneath the left shin. And just shift your hips to the right a little bit, and then drop the knees over to the left. Flopping the head to the right. Reveal your legs, come back to center. Other side. Shift the hips a little bit to the left, and then flop over to the right. And let's get comfy cozy into Shavasana, everybody. So if you want your pillow or bolster underneath your knees, maybe cover the eyes. Flop yourself out. And just really let go of the shoulders and the hands. Let go of the muscles around the neck. Relaxing the jaw, the cheeks, the gums, and the tongue. I need to give your nose a wriggle if you're feeling a little tight there. Relax the eyes.
breath as one.